Okay. Last lecture we have discussed the basic idea about the management information system, the syllabus part, then basic idea, definition, that MIS, that is management information system, is mostly covering the parts like people, hardware, software, communication among them, network and data resources, which help us to transport the information from the data to the particular information wise. Then we have discussed basic idea about types of information system that can be organized in an hierarchical style. At the top we will have a management support, at the middle we will have a knowledge work, and at the last we have operational support. In operational support we have a TPS, which is known as transaction processing system, that is TPS. In support of a knowledge work we have a BIS, that is business intelligence system. We have OIS, that is office information system. We have a knowledge management system called as what, KMS. Sometimes it is known as KWS also, knowledge work system or knowledge management system. We have executive information system, that is EIS. Sometimes it is called as what, ESS also. So management report team system and decision support system, that is DSS. So these are the different types of systems, management information systems, which help us. Basic purpose behind is, it is defined as a system based on the database of the evolved for the purpose of providing information to the people in the organization. Next we have discussed what actually the concept of MIS is. Now here we will focus mainly on MIS. MIS is nothing but a planned system of collecting, storing and disseminating data in the form of information needed to carry out the functions of management. So there may be different parts of the management, and we are looking for some decision makings or some implementation. So for putting some kind of an implementations, they need to take a decision, and to take the decision based on some information. So that information will be collected with the help of MIS. So this basically will helps to provide a detailed coverage on MIS and your major enterprise level systems. So you will also learn how these systems will help in the decision making process, which is critical to any business enterprises. So for example, let's take a simple example. Information can be defined as meaningfully interpreted data. Suppose if I give you a number, just imagine I have given one number to you, that is 91,020,290,4700. You will look towards the number, whether it is mobile number, whether it is fax number, whether it is a landline number of which city, and all this. It means it does not make any sense on its own. It is just a raw data. The data is there, the number is there, but you are not aware whether or not any specification to represent it. So to represent it in a format, I have said that suppose I am giving the number plus 91, that is my country code, that is 91 indicates India. 020 specifies the countries, for example Pune. If I write Mumbai, if I write 022, it is Pune, like that. So it starts making sense. It becomes a telephone number if I give rather than some more data and record it meaningfully like the other fields. So whatever the data you are giving, but whether the data has a specific meaning or not, giving meaning to that specific data. So giving specific names to that data, which help us to prepare the MIS parts. So information system is a system that gathers data and disseminates means extracts, collects from it, disseminates information with some sole purpose of providing information to its user. Whatever data you will give will try to cover out with some specific information. So simply I can say raw data will perform some process on it and convert that raw data into a specific information, just like a sugar cane. We collect the sugar canes, process is done, and sugar is extracted from it. That is what just kind like a sugar factories. So same purpose is there for the MIS. So main objective of information system is to provide information to its users. Information system vary according to the type of user who use the system. A management information system is an organization system that evaluates, analyzes, processing an organization's data to produce meaningful and useful information based on which management took the decision. So let's take a simple working scenario. Raw data. Data means here just what I can say, some raw information is considered, or just all details are there available in the data. I'll perform some processing and I'll capture some specific information from it. So basic idea here, the data is the raw material. Information means what actually the informations you want to take, and based on that you can take some decisions called as what, knowledge. Then we'll set some rules regulations over there called as wisdom. So this is the important idea, basic information, where you are working on MIS, that is management information system. So three main components of MIS are there. The first is management, second is information, and third is a system. So what does the management means? So management covers will be responsible for the planning, controlling and administration of the operations of a concern. If for example, if you consider any institute, any organization, or any company, so there will be a management. What is the major role of that management? They will be responsible for planning, what to do, how to do, when to do, how the process is going to start. All this, they will prepare a proper plan, and they will just observe whether the plan is going to get executed or not by just performing monitor, that is observation. And if everything going is as per their expectations, they will be happy. If not, they will take some corrective actions by controlling it. So planning, monitoring and controlling, these are the major roles that the management has to play. So the top management handles planning, middle management concentrates on the controlling, and the lower management is concerned with actual administration work. Next part is what, information. So information in MIS means the processed data that helps the management in planning, controlling and operations. So the data process that is recorded, summarized, compared and finally presented to the management in the form of MIS report. So management has to take a decision. Suppose they are going for the planning. So for the planning they need some data, means for example, they are planning for the second semester in our college. They want to execute the second semester, but for second semester they need some data, like how many subjects will be there for the second semester, how many staffs will be there, whose particular staff, which staff is going to cover which subject, how many total duration of that particular subject. All these information that need, they all the data that need. It means they will collect all this data from university website, from college records, some previous results. They will interact with the staff members, they will take the feedback from the staff members, and at the same time they will take the feedback from the students also, and based on that they will perform the planning. So that process I am calling as what, a management. And system is nothing but the data is processed into the information with the help of a system. A system is made up of inputs, processing outputs and feedback for the control. So system is where all the people will come together based on some information, based on some data. Decisions will be taken and implemented to the fruitful presentation. So we'll call this as a concept of system. So simply I can say that MIS is a planned system of collecting, storing and disseminating the data in the form of information needed to carry out the functions of this what we can say, institute or organization. Now coming to the next part, what are the roles of MIS? So the role of MIS in the organization can be compared to the role of heart in the body. Just like in our body, what is the main function of heart? So the main functioning of the body is heart. The same concept is there in the organization. MIS is the heart of the organization. The information is the blood. Whatever the blood moving in the body, Similarly, the information is moving from various parts in the organization. In the body, the heart plays the vital role of supplying pure blood to all the elements of the body, including the brain. So, heart will be responsible to purify whatever the detoxifications or what we can say some toxins coming into the blood. So, the heart will purify it and will carry a pure, fully oxygenated blood to each and every part of the body. MIS similarly plays exactly the role in the organization. Will try to provide a good what we can say information to the respective systems, respective parts of the systems. We will call them as what MIS. So the system is expected to fulfill the information needs of an individual, group of individuals, and the management functionaries like managements and top of the management. The MIS satisfies the diverse needs through a variety of systems such as query systems, analysis systems, modeling systems, and decision support systems. The MIS helps in strategic planning, management control, operation control, and transaction processes. So in upcoming parts we will discuss in detail. Now the question comes in the mind, what are the basic characteristics of an MIS? I have listed out 11 characteristics of an MIS. The first part is called as what management oriented. The basic objective of MIS to provide the information support to the management in the organization for decision making. So MIS should, whatever MIS you are planning, it should support to the management for taking the decisions. Management directed, then MIS is a management directed. It should be directed by the management because it is the management who tells their needs and requirements more efficiently than anybody else. Then next part is integrated. It means comprehensive or complete view of all the system in the organization should be available on single click. Common data flows. The integration of the different subsystems will lead to the common data flow, which will further help in avoiding duplicacy and redundancy in the data collection, storage, and processing. It also focuses on heavy planning element. The preparation of MI is not a 1 or 2 days exercise. It usually takes 3 to 5 years and sometimes a much longer period. So heavy planning elements, all small parts also you need to take into the considerations. So it is not a day, in the 1 day or 2 days and you have set up in the entire organization. No, it needs a proper planning, and so you need to cover each and every element. Subsystem components, where subsystem components are the parts of the your systems that we need to take into the consideration. So we call that as a subsystem concept. So when a problem is seen into two subparts, then the better solutions to the problem is possible. So simply we call that what, whenever you are looking for some complex problems or some complex things, it is better to divide that complex things into a manageable parts. So that is subsystem concept is there. Means simply divide the problem, solve that problems, and then combine the solution. That combined solution will be the solution to your whole system. Then common database. This is the basic feature of the MIS to achieve the objectives of MIS in the business organization. Then computerized. MIS can be used without a computer, but the use of computer increases effectiveness. Yes, it increases the effectiveness and efficiency of the system. User friendly. Yes, MIS should be flexible and user friendly so that it will be helpful for the user, not as a burden to the users. Information as a resource. Information is the major integrates of any MIS system. So I have just highlighted the characteristics. You can just take it out. So it should be based on the long-term planning, as rightly we mentioned. It should provide a holistic view of a dynamic and the structure of the organization. I should just by looking to an MIS system, I can able to understand the different elements of the systems. So it should work as a complete and comprehensive system covering all interconnecting subsystems with the organizations. whatever the organization institute you have, it may be having different parts over there called as what different departments. So it should cover all respective departments in a proper organized manner. It should be planned in a top down ways, as the decision makers of the management should actively take part and provide clear directions at the development stage of the MIS. It should be based on the need of strategic, operational, and tactical information managers of an organization. It should also take care of exceptional situations by reporting such situations. Also, it should be able to make forecast and estimates, generate advanced information, thus providing competitive advantage. Decision makers can take actions on the basis of such predictions. It should create linkage between all the subsystems within the organization so that the decisions maker can take the right decision based on the integrated view. It should also or simply I can say it should allow easy flow of the information. It means there will be no any restrictions that the moving a data from one department to another department. It should simply operations with as much practically as possibility. Although the MIS is an integrated complete system, it should be made in such a flexible way that it should easily split into another small subsystems as and when required. And central database is the backbone of well-built MIS. So entire data will be available at the central on single click notations whenever required by the management of that information system. So this is basic idea which shows me about the MIS for any institute like computer science, operation research, behavioral science, management, and accounting. So if any organization you take into the consideration, accounting will be responsible for doing salaries, collecting monies, fundings, etc. Computer science is the department who will be responsible to perform EDP, means electronic data processing. Then operation research will be responsible to assign various organizations where what are the operations, their portfolios are required. And behavioral science means whatever the task assigned by the operation research, how you are going to carry, that will be considered as a behavioral science. And the management will be responsible for planning, organizing, staffing, directing as part of your MIS systems. So these are the some highlighted features of MIS like timelines, accuracy, consistency, completeness, and the relevance. Whatever the information I am dealing will be available on the single click for my taking the decisions. This will be the highlighted features of MIS system. The next lecture we will discuss the basic idea about the components of an MIS. Till then, take a pause.